Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the weekly MMA Cycles Market Update. Today is the 27th day of November 2024, and I am Gianni DePoci, your host. We are going into a holiday trading period. Markets will be closed tomorrow in observance of Thanksgiving in the United States. And then we will have a shortened trading session on Friday. But nonetheless, some really important developments taking place across many markets. So let's go ahead and get into it right now, starting off with the Dow Jones, which rallied to a new all-time high today on Wednesday, and seeing a little bit of selling now, but the bigger concern from my standpoint is what's happening in the NASDAQ. So we have a potential setup of what's called intermarket bearish divergence. The NASDAQ has not made a new all-time high while the Dow has, and this is especially notable considering that we began Mercury's retrograde period on Monday, 2 days ago. And that's going to be in effect until the 15th of December. So for the next 2.5 weeks or so, wouldn't be surprised to see some choppy price action in markets. You got to be careful believing what you hear across all facets of the market, whether it's geopolitical, economic data, tariff news and whatnot. There's a lot of moving parts right now. We're just coming out of earnings season, and it's been pretty good overall. Most of the Magnificent Seven names exceeded expectations. For example, I think it was only Amazon that fell short, but all the other ones beat estimates. But today we actually have Sun trine Mars, so a bit of aggressive selling here. I don't know that it will continue. This time of year is usually bullish. It is interesting to point out that the bullish seasonality of this market does line up by and large with Sagittarius season, which is, a rather optimistic sign with very broad horizons. But next week we are beginning a pretty intense period of geocosmic activity, and I'd especially pay attention to the tech sector. We have Venus trine Uranus on December 2nd, and then Saturn will be square the sun on the 4th, and then we begin a Mars retrograde period on the 6th, followed by Neptune direct and Venus moving into Aquarius on the 7th of December. And that's going to be really important because Neptune has been shown to be one of the most potent signatures for planetary stations and planetary retrogrades in terms of leading to reversals in markets. We know that Neptune is considered a higher octave of Venus as well. Neptune rules the waves. Markets move in waves. And so I'd also keep an eye on the energy market. I think we could be setting up for a major drop lower in USO here. We are pressing down on support, and you take a look at bonds, TLT, seeing a nice rally here. It's up to levels not seen since mid-October. So this is especially notable considering we had this big rally begin just one day before Pluto, ruler of debt, ingressed into the sign of Aquarius. So I think we are in a new era when it comes to debt markets as well. And this is something we talked about in great detail at the MMA investment retreat in Lake Bled. And we did update members to the MMA Cycles report on our outlook in bonds that was issued a couple weeks back. So definitely check that out if you want to learn more. So yeah, it looks like interest rates are going to be coming down even further here. This is a good sign for markets overall. It looks like we're going into disinflation. So that means inflation is still there, but it's not really accelerating. And I think if we get a drop in energy prices, potentially around, Neptune going direct, that could lead to a further rally in bonds. Another market that needs to be watched closely going into Venus trine Uranus is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin seeing a nice rebound after a multi-day correction here. I'd be looking for some sideways action and a consolidation of these gains over the next few sessions. But Venus has been shown to be a very important planet for Bitcoin, and MMTA graduate Chris Lindahl demonstrated Mars in Cancer being a pretty notable transit for Bitcoin. And I bring that up because Mars is going retrograde. It's in Leo right now, but it's going to retrograde back into Cancer. So definitely want to keep an eye on that because it could lead to bigger price swings in Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum is looking very strong. We just hit a new high here. You're pressing up against resistance. I'd be looking for Ethereum to hit a new high for the year before year end, meaning I would expect for it to exceed its high from back in May. I think there's a lot of value in Ethereum right now, especially compared to Bitcoin. The US dollar is taking a breather here. The Japanese yen is seeing a nice rally. This is another market to watch going into Venus trine Uranus. Venus obviously rules currency, but Uranus rules breaks of support and resistance. So should keep an eye on that because that could be a meaningful move unfolding here. The euro is finally seeing some relief after what I would call a crash. I mean, an 9 cent move over the span of not even 2 months or approximately 2 months in any currency market is massive. So a big move lower in the euro. You're seeing a relief rally now. This is probably going to help precious metals and stocks and even cryptocurrencies recover. And on that note, for precious metals, you are seeing gold and silver attempt to make a recovery here. We had discussed this in some of our weekly columns and the monthly report, how gold could be coming out of an important cyclical bottom. When it comes to silver, still struggling to sustain a rally, but again, going into Venus trine Uranus next week, we need to be ready for big moves that could, by the way, be exaggerated with Mercury retrograde. I would also like to point out that Mercury's retrograde midpoint is not far from this intense period of geocosmic activity that begins next week. So definitely something to keep an eye on. So that's everything that I wanted to review with you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. We do have guests on periodically. Last week we had Christine Skinner on, and I appreciate all of your comments and thoughtful feedback on that. And then next week we are going to have Derek Panaya join us to give you a little bit of a preview before the options webinar that he and Ray Merriman will be putting on next Sunday. That's going to be the 8th of December. So that's a great one. These option webinars have been very popular for traders. So definitely want to check that out. And of course, we are in forecast season. Forecast 2025 is all but complete. Heading to the printers right now, pretty much. And pick up a copy of yours at www.mmacycles.com. And that's all for now, everyone. Look forward to seeing you next week and wishing you all a great holiday. Thank you.